Hey guys, what's going on? It's the Chinnis. Today is June 14th, Wednesday, new comic book day, and I have my haul here of 23 with 22 different titles. Quite a stack this week, so kicking it off, we have Secret Empire number 4. So I was able to pick up one of the store incentives. I think this was going for $15 online. So yeah, happy to have that, and going through my reader copy A here. So, I think that the storyline, I think it's pretty good overall. I think it's a little bit too jumbled just because of the amount of information that's kind of going on here in each issue. But, other than that, I'm looking to see how they really finish off the storyline, and I do enjoy it so far. I know this has received a lot of criticism, a lot of negative criticism in regard to the storyline. I think, I was not always a fan of Captain America growing up. I was always a mutant fan, growing up with X-Men. So I just may not be as invested as some of the other guys out there, kind of complaining about how they're changing, or potentially about to change the past 75 years of his history. So yeah, I really want to see what happens in the end. I think Marvel is telling everyone, wait for the end, don't prejudge the storyline. So yeah, I'm gonna wait and see what happens. Alright, so next up we have a couple crossovers. So this is the DC Looney Tunes crossovers. Just a couple of them. I think they released like 5 or 6 of them. Only about 2 of them kind of caught my eye. This is one of them. Marvin the Martian was one of my favorites. Any cartoon that he was in, I just loved. So happy to see that, along with Martian Manhunter, which I've grown to enjoy more since the cartoons have come out. So yeah, really interested in seeing where this comedy, how good the comedy is, looking to see where they take the storyline. I think these are just one-offs. I don't think that these are ongoing to my knowledge, but yeah. Okay, this is the other crossover I picked up, Legion of Superheroes, Bugs Bunny. I would have preferred like Justice League, with Bugs Bunny, but yeah, still pretty cool. Like to see, again, what type of storyline this is going to be. Is this going to be ongoing or not? And again, I think these are just one-offs, one-shots. So yeah, we'll see what happens here. But yeah, looking for a little comedy. Okay, Star Wars. So this is part of the ongoing Screaming Citadel, number 4 or 5. So this one got pretty good, pretty good action. I think they're trying to fight their way out of the Citadel right now. So I think this one's going to be this issue is going to be pretty action packed. So this is the Dr. Aphra crossover with the Star Wars main characters in between episode number 4 and 5. So this is right before Empire Strikes Back. So yeah, pretty good action. The dialogue is there, really fits the characters, really well. You can kind of hear their voices as you kind of read along. So yeah, Star Wars. If you enjoy Star Wars, you're not picking this up, I think you should. Okay, next up we have Spook House. This is really for kids, but I really like Eric Powell. I enjoy the artwork that's in most of these storylines. I think they have a couple artists in here. But yeah, pretty good comedy. Even though it's geared for kids, I picked up number 1. I enjoyed it, so I went ahead and subscribed to this one. So yeah, these little short storylines are always kind of funny, kind of short. I wish they were a little bit longer, but a little bit good entertainment here. Okay, Metallica. So I actually saw Metallica this past Sunday here in Houston. Great show. They played at Reliant Stadium. Hit most of the great songs out there, along with all their new stuff. And I think this comic actually trends into the newer Metallica now. But yeah, so it was great. I think the only song that they did not play that I wanted them to really play was Orion. So yeah, other than that, great concert. Always looking to see any backstories about Metallica. They've been a huge part of my life since the And Justice for All album came out in '87, I think. Yeah. So next up, Regression. So number 1 was just okay, to tell you the truth. I thought I was going to enjoy it just a little bit more. I want to at least get into issue number 2 and 3 to kind of make my final decision if I'm going to pick this up ongoing or not. But yeah, so this guy kind of, agrees to regression mental therapy. And after he does that, he kind of starts seeing like weird things all over the place. I guess there may be like a supernatural world like in parallel that he's able to see now, I think possibly. But yeah, just kind of getting into the storyline, and we'll see what kind of happens here. The artwork was pretty decent to go along with the storyline, really complemented it. So yeah, Regression number 2. next up, Green Valley. I have loved this title. You know, this artwork was way up there on my scale, maybe 4.5 out of 5. And, you know, I love anything night related, Lord of the Rings type, and this one kind of included some time warpage as well. So I love anything time travel based. Man, this really had everything that I look for. So yeah, Green Valley, I think this may be the finale of this miniseries, I believe. I don't remember. I do recall that they were really, I mean, this is like a really good build-up. This may be the final battle. So yeah, if you have not been picking this up, I suggest you go pick up the trade. I think number 1 came out. I think this is going to conclude it. There may just only be 2 trades out there, but Green Valley, man, great title. Okay, Matt Kent with Grass Kings. So I don't pick up too much, you know, just pure drama, to tell you the truth. This falls into that category. This is a off-the-grid civilization that borders a, you know, a medium-sized town. You have the off-the-grid, you know, they have their own culture, their own civilization, their own law, you know, so to speak. And someone from the big city, a female, went missing, and he kind of started exploring this this town a little bit and how it operates, and getting to the sheriff's side. I guess we're gonna find out what happens to the girl. But you know, I've enjoyed this artwork so far. You know, it has a hard line along with the watercolor, which I thought really fit the storyline. I was you know, kind of shocked how well it fit. But yeah, Grass Kings, great artwork, great storyline. Yeah. Okay, Winnebago Graveyard. This was completely off my radar. Owner of one of the LCSs that I go to suggested this one. I enjoy horror, and I think this one kind of had, I think this was more supernatural, occult type of horror here. But yeah, I thought it seemed pretty interesting. It seemed intriguing after he kind of told me a little bit about it. So went and picked it up. Yeah, Winnebago Graveyard. Okay, this is one that I was aware of, but I actually skipped it just based on the premise that I read. So again, the LCS owner kind of talked this one up just a little bit to me. I picked it up, thumbed through it. I thought the artwork was pretty decent. You know, I give this like a 3.5 in my opinion. And you know, the storyline, although it's ancient Greece, I guess it kind of merged a little bit of modern time into the storyline. So yeah, it seemed pretty interesting. So I went ahead and picked up number 1, see if I'm going to continue on to number 2 or not. Kill the Minotaur. Okay, Dark Days of the Forge. This is going to be like a DC summer event, and this one is actually, I think this is in continuity, and this artwork is by Jim Lee, and Jim Lee has been, you know, probably my number 1 all-time favorite artist ever. You know, there's just, I love his great detail that he does, and there are just so many of those titles that I picked up growing up that, you know, once he took control, I just, you know, fell in love with the comic even more. You know, when his artwork really complemented the superhero theme. It's what I really love his artwork for. So, man, this one hits it right here. And so I think the backstory, or the storyline here is, I think Batman is aware of some secret or something, and the others start getting concerned about that. But yeah, really interested. I was really excited for this storyline to come out. I think this one's going to be pretty good. So yeah, Dark Days of the Forge. Okay, up next, The Defenders. To tell you the truth, I have not really enjoyed this group too much on the Netflix world that they're kind of building right now. I think I picked this one up just really to have a number 1, to tell you the truth. I'm going to read through it as I read, you know, everything open-minded, but you know, I'm not really too into these characters, to tell you the truth. But yeah, I want to see what kind of happens here, see if this intrigues me enough to actually pick up a number 2 or not. We'll see. The Defenders number 1. Okay, Jiminy Bastards. So I thought this was going to be, you know, like Archer, and I guess it is in a sense, but I think he was more of a real James Bond feel to it, you know, along with the Archer, and you know, from what I hear, just a little bit more I guess what's a word I'm looking for? The I guess the lowbrow humor. But I love Archer, so I was kind of looking forward to picking this one up. So this guy, he's a great lady getter, and apparently his partner is going to be female, and she is not into him, and it just kind of blows his mind. So I like to see what he goes through. If it's anything like Archer at all, man, I know I'm going to love it. I've loved The Boys so far by Garth Ennis. Great story writer. Okay, up next, Normandy Gold. This is another one that was completely off my radar. I was not expecting this one at all. Again, owner of the LCS started talking me up a little bit about this, and from what I understand, this is a cop that goes undercover as a female prostitute. I was like, oh man, you have me a female prostitute, man. Let me go ahead and pick that up. Let me see what that's about. So, yeah. Normandy Gold. We'll see what this is all about. This one's by Hardcase. I think this is the first title I've ever picked up by Hardcase. Up next, XMen Blue. So yeah, getting into XMen Blue and Gold. Those are two X lines I picked up along with Mutant X. I'm sorry, Weapon X. But yeah, trying to get back into the X-Men mutant world again. I guess I'm going back and forth on if I like Gold or Blue more. And I guess issue to issue, I kind of jump back and forth. But, it's okay overall. I think I do enjoy Blue more than Gold. I think I'm just a little bit disappointed. I think Gold could be just a little bit better in regard to action and things of that nature. But, yeah, this is the original team from the alternate timeline. X-Men Blue. Okay, that other X title I was just talking about, Weapon X. This one was a surprise to me. I picked up number one just to have a number one. I think I also picked up a pretty good variant when number one came out. And this is a storyline I did not think I was going to be into, and I read through number one. I was like, oh man, that was great. So I went ahead and subscribed to this one. This has been a great storyline. You have the Weapon X project that initiated again, but they're building clones and androids, collecting DNA from other mutants out there in order to destroy the mutants. So, man, great action, great storyline. I enjoy the main characters who are involved. The last one had Amadeus Cho in there, which I love him. So, yeah, Weapon X, great storyline. Okay, up next, Justice League of America. This is one I was kind of teetering on. I enjoyed when it first kicked off, and then I didn't, kind of fell through a little bit for me, but it really picked up again. So we'll only see where this team is going to go. I do enjoy having a secondary team outside of Justice League on the DC side, and of course Teen Titans. So yeah, I think these characters are interesting to me, in my opinion. Killer Frost being, one of the main ones out there, besides Batman, of course. But yeah, JLA. Okay, New Superman. This is another title that I just love. I did not think that I would enjoy it as much as what I did. All about the Chinese Justice League here, man. It is great. You have the Chinese Batman, the Chinese Wonder Woman, and then you have the Chinese Superman. Great dialogue between the Chinese Trinity. You have their solo stories that kind of go on from time to time. Kanan's power is going in and out. He's learning how to control his power. He's not straight up Superman at this point in time. He's met the American Superman, or the Superman, who's going to be mentoring him, going in the future. So, man, great title. If you enjoy Superman, this is like a little bit different take on it, but man, definitely stands on its own. New Superman. Okay, up next we have The Flash. So this is crossover between The Flash and Green Lantern, which, these two are, some of my two most favorite DC heroes there are. So great to see a little team up here, and I have thoroughly enjoyed The Flash so far. I'm willing to see, or, really want to see how they, finish all the Button, as a side story. But, the action, the dialogue in The Flash really exceeded my expectation, to tell you the truth. So yeah, willing to see what happens with them here together. I think they teamed up at the very end of the last one, so we get to see them in action together now. So yeah, The Flash. Okay, last we have Amazing Spider-Man, Renew Your Vows. Love this title. This is actually the only Spider-Man that I've been reading. They finished off the 90s X-Men team up, I guess, that they did. That was a great story arc, and it's really the family interaction and anime. The youngest daughter kind of learning how to use her powers. The three of them, learning how to be a team out on the streets, fighting these villains. So yeah, this has been one of the best, all-time Spider-Man, along with the artwork especially, but one of the best titles I've ever read by Spider-Man, to tell you the truth. So yeah, that's going to be it for this week's brand new haul. Should you like what you see here, please like and subscribe. Talk to you later.